The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Weekly Warp Pipe. We're going to be diving into something maybe you guys can relate to, but packing up a game room and then moving it to a no location, right? You got to move. You got to maybe downsize. Maybe you're going to a bigger space. I certainly have videos on the channel here with me doing that with this game room here. And we have a special guest that's going to be diving into that later on in the episode. But right now, I got Dave here. What's up? Hey, Dave.
Where's Keith? Where's Keith?
Well, he's coming. He's loading.
Keith is MIA at the moment.
At the moment, he should be popping in a little bit, so that's fine.
He'll pop in.
We're going off the fly here and just rolling with the punches, so to say.
Little different this week, but Keith will be here. He will be here. He's on standby. So what's going on? Anything exciting going on? I know we have a guest in the wings.
We got a guest in the wing. Yeah. I'm gearing up to. I'm gonna have another live stream. So you guys will be listening to this Saturday. Yeah. So Saturday at night at 6:00, I'm gonna be doing a live stream to celebrate 1 year of Rustly on YouTube. My anniversary is this coming Monday. 1 year when I made the channel. So we decided just to do the Saturday stream instead of Monday because more people probably tune in on a Saturday. So if you're around, come watch us stream some games.
1 year.
Yeah.
What was the date?
It was May 16th, is it?
Okay. So Monday, right?
18th. That was close. 18th.
Sunday. So that's Sunday.
No, Monday.
You sure about that?
Yeah, it is the calendar.
I guess. Yep. All right.
if I'm the right year.
I don't know what day it is.
Monday. Yeah, 18th.
I'm looking at a different calendar.
But yeah, I remember launching the channel and having the first video be real chill, like no editing. I think it's just me chatting, and certainly has come a long way. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers. We're at and change 1,780.
Okay.
It would be an amazing goal to get 2,000 while we're streaming, but to get like 200 plus subscribers in a stream,
well,
I would have to get a big raid or something.
We have the ability of you guys, the listeners, if you're watching this, shout it out. Put it out on Instagram. Put it out on Facebook. Do whatever you got to do.
Make 5 or 6 fake channels. Subscribe.
Yep. I was going to say just like call the blimp company and get one of those like marquees.
Could do that.
So who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, yeah.
Other than that, not too much.
Oh, and then other than that, apparently Russ is going to SoCal Gaming Expo.
Well, have been announced. You guys have not yet been announced.
I guess we're not going yet.
They got to space it out. Why do back to back?
I know.
So I will be at SoCal. We'll see if the other guys show up. Also, I didn't know Lopez Drummer got announced as like. So I was like, does she do content? I didn't even know.
So I think I read the comment, and Lopez Drummer can call us out in the comments if this is wrong. But from what I read, is that Lopez Drummer is not announced. She took the ad and made her own.
Oh, no kidding! I just seen it on her profile.
Yeah. Right. I think
that's kind of clever. I like that.
I did like that. That was pretty good.
So I was like, okay,
yeah,
I dig it.
But Lopez Drummer will be there, and I'm super excited.
Yeah. So we're gearing up for that. Trying to see what else is going on other than that. I don't think so.
Editing all week. I actually put up a channel member only video because I did the Chicago Toy Show, right? Mm-hmm. And I ended up doing the first episode of the hotel sales, and I had more footage.
Okay.
I didn't want to make it a 45-minute episode because I still got day 2 of the hotel. I've got the Chicago Toy Show itself. I got the parking lot sales. I've got the vendor load-in. I've got 3 toy stores that we went to. So there's a lot of videos, like each one of those. So what I ended up doing is doing like a 30-minute episode. And then at the time that I cut it, our friend Brian, Romaine Remembers on Instagram, he showed up from Colorado, and it was his first experience with the hotel sales. So
gotcha.
It's a member-only exclusive video for once he shows up, and then we finish off the rest of the day, and it's pure chaos.
Okay.
So after that, we're working on next week's video, which is day 2. That'll be up today, Saturday, if you guys are watching this, like when this is airing. And then we're on to the other. There's a lot of videos coming. So, and then I still got Cup of Curiosity.
Right. So you're just editing back to back all day.
Yeah. And I'm also trying to take a break, and this room is still a mess from all of the stuff that came in.
Oh, right. From the shows.
Yeah. But anyway, we have a guest.
We do have a guest. Load him in. What's up? We got Ty in the house. Ty Gaming.
Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Long time listener. I was excited to finally get you on the podcast, man.
Man, I was super excited to be here. You have no idea. Like I said, I've been listening to you, Russ, and Jay. I think I've listened to every episode going back. And then obviously I've known about Dave and Keith for a long time as well. So it's really cool to be able to get you guys tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a good show for sure. We'll get you in on all the regular segments and stuff. And I figured...
Wait a minute. Even though Keith's not here right now, we still got another Canadian.
That's right. You're
that
keeping
is true.
That Canadian content live, that 1/3 required by law. That's excellent.
I love it. Why don't you give us a very short, bio what you do in the retro gaming community? I know I watch you on TikTok. You can, discuss your social medias and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, so my name is TYs Gaming. You can catch me on TikTok and Instagram. Usually what you're going to see me going through is a lot of the retro games I've been collecting. So currently I am trying to collect all of the North American Sega Dreamcast journey. So that's been a lot of fun. And I tell you right now, that's a real challenge because the Dreamcast is such a hard thing to collect. And it's such a niche market that it's really challenging to find those upper end games. So it's really fun going through that right now. I have a collection with SNES, NES, but I'm also do modern gaming, right? I love gaming in general. So anything from, the NES era to the PlayStation 5 and everything in between, I immerse myself in gaming. And if I can bring that fun excitement to anyone else, that's what I like to do. And right now on my channel, I just kind of going through Suggestion Sundays where I'm suggesting games that people may not have heard of. And I've got some old games, I got some new games, and just having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been going through, kind of talk about some of those cool things and games I like to pick up. And just sometimes it's even just fun picking up and making those deals. I know you guys, when you go to all your different shows, you're picking up these things, and I like doing it my little way, which is just the old-fashioned wheel and dealing type thing between your Facebook marketplaces and game stores. So
yeah, I was kind of curious on how you approach the hunting where you're at. So it's Facebook Marketplace, and you go to like local shops too, or conventions.
Yep. I honestly, the biggest advice I can give to anyone is to make friends everywhere you can. Right. Because one of the best places I found was probably right close to the beginning of this journey. I was getting my NES repaired, and the guy who was repairing it, he ended up being a connection point that got me tons of really cool stuff. Like he actually gave me, looking at your screen, Russ, like he gave me a Sony Trinitron as just something to have. I was like, for retro gaming, this is absolutely sick to have, like to be able to play these classic old school games on. Like it's so much fun. So yeah, that's it's all just about getting to know different people, getting into the community, understanding all the people that's there, make those deals, make those trades, and working through that. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I imagine so. Hey, here's Keith.
Hey guys, what's going on?
A little shuffle there.
In the middle of stuff there. I had to take a little TV time.
It's like a Canadian sandwich.
Right.
The good parts are in the middle, of course.
For this.
Oh, we all taking a drink at the same time?
Let's all drink. I'll drink to that Canadian sandwich. I don't know.
Good to be here. I'm glad I could join you guys now. So let's
yes.
I've been listening in the background.
Perfect.
Continue on.
Do you want to get into the questions, or you want to let the people know you were up to anything? I don't know if anything.
No, I'm not up to anything.
Okay, same. Just rest and relaxation.
Wait a minute. It looks like did Keith get a haircut?
Yeah,
It looks like
short.
Keith
It's
got a
short.
haircut.
It's just short.
Yeah, you got it short.
Mhm.
Looks
There we go.
good. Well,
All right.
Keith got a haircut.
Keith got a
Yay.
haircut.
We're not talking
Let's get-
about us. We're talking about TYs Gaming. Let's go.
But that's the title of the episode. Keith got a haircut.
There you go.
It is now. All right, we're loading our questions here for our guests. You want to take over, Keith? Do you want to do
Yeah.
questions?
No, I see
perfect.
you guys have it all dialed in here.
All right. I guess.
So they're actually training me, Keith, to be able to back you up in situations like this. So this is actually not part of the podcast. This is just training.
Perfect. I love it.
All right. Go ahead, Russ. You started off.
All right, so what is your desert island video game or toy? It's basically a game that you're going to bring with you, keep you occupied while you're on a desert island.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I actually had to think all week on that one. And I think this game series, I think most people, at least most people I've talked to, always tend to go back to the Zelda franchise. And I think I'm no different. And I thought at first, like getting, Ocarina of Time, I really enjoyed that. But I think, Dave, I think you'll really appreciate this. But I think I'm going to go Breath of the Wild. I think that game is truly incredible of a game. The DLC,
It scared me with that.
it's really an incredible game. It just has a lot of depth to it. And I do kind of like to play it a little bit better than Tears of the Kingdom, but I absolutely love Tears of the Kingdom as well. So it'd be a toss between.
So now, I'm sorry, did you say Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
Breath of the Wild, I would go with that one. Yeah, just
Why would you go with that over the other one? I'm just curious.
there is a lot of, I find the games are very similar in nature.
Right.
But I've never completed the DLC for Breath of the Wild, so there's a whole other aspect to that
Good
game.
point. Okay.
So there's that whole part I haven't done. I also
Okay.
like the choice of the different abilities you get a little bit differently than you get in Tears. Also, I'm not very creative, so making all the stuff that you see in Tears, and I assume I'm on desert island, so I can't get the codes or anything like that, so I can't download cool stuff. So I'm making some boat that's going to sink within the first shot from a goblin
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a toss up between those two, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I don't know if I would. There's just like I have so much nostalgia for Breath of the Wild, and then Tears of the Kingdom came up. Like, yeah, it's a hard decision. It's really hard because they are two different games when you really think about it.
And I played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U and completed it there. And then when Tears came out, I grabbed it on the Switch and I just barreled through it almost as fast as I can because I knew if I put it down, I'm going to forget where I'm going. I'm going to forget how the controls work. And I even turned off my Switch to updates because I was watching through TikTok and there was a bunch of these glitches and you're able to duplicate items. And I fully took advantage of that to get as much food, as much crystals and everything. And I'm like, you know what? This is how I'm going to play the game just because it's going to make it a little bit easier and I can just enjoy it. And so I beat it and then never went back to it, essentially.
I remember when they did that update because I remember
Yeah.
running to my Switch, trying to turn off the update, and it just updated right before that. I was like,
Because that's when they
Yes,
were
I'm playing
doing them like
legit-
automatic, right?
yeah. I didn't realize to turn it off right away. I was like,
Right.
just missed it.
But that's a good choice. I like that choice. Can I ask you one question about
Yep.
Breath of the Wild then?
Yep, absolutely.
Favorite divine beast, and when I say favorite divine beast, what area is your favorite story arc to go through?
Ooh,
You got 4 choices.
yeah, that's a tough one because I actually played it twice. The game I played it on the Wii U originally because I didn't get Switch on launch at the time, so I played it on Wii U and then I got it much later on the Switch and I played it differently. So the first time I went and played it, I went to the water area first, and that was okay, but I almost didn't really like it. I went towards on the second playthrough with Rivali.
Yeah.
Just the wind to be able to get up on the mountains is just a game breaker. Just to be able to travel and traverse, it really changed the game. So I would probably go there. I enjoyed the story a little bit as well in that area, just because it's so unique. We don't really deal with wind. You know what I mean? I think we had it in Skyward Sword kind of has that wind element. Twilight Princess has a little bit of the
Sure.
sky and stuff like that. So you don't get a lot of the wind and the ability to go up there. You have desert, you have fire, you have water. So I like the uniqueness of going to Rivali's area.
I think it was very unique, especially in that area for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
When you went up in the air and you had all the ships like floating in the sky. Like, yeah, it's a good choice. Well, moving on, we also have another question for you. We have a nostalgia haul. We understand that you're in the moving process, but is there any kind of game, toy, or memory, if you don't have that game or toy, show and tell time? Anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, I got lots of show and tell.
I got a
stuff.
new house.
Yeah. I got the sign.
You got the Master Sword behind you.
I just showed up. That was random. I got even some of the stuff behind me there. That's some really cool stuff. If I'm going to share a story about, it honestly involved moving as well. Back when I was younger, I had lived in Niagara Falls. So I live in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And when I was younger, we moved out a couple hours out from where we were. Then a few years later, we moved back. The year we moved back, I remember that Christmas specifically because I remember putting the tree up. And I remember that was the year I got my Super Nintendo system. And I remember getting all these gifts and like, this is really awesome. Thank you. And I remember my dad saying, I think there's still something behind the tree. And I couldn't, even though I was sitting right beside the tree, I didn't see it and looked, and it was the Super Nintendo. And it was honestly such a great memory. I'll never forget that type of thing. So that's got to be the nostalgia haul that I'll always remember.
That's cool. I have a similar story. We've shared it, I think, around the Christmas episode where my dad did something similar, although it was a basketball hoop, like
nice,
huge basketball hoop, like with a bag over it. Like I didn't even know that they made bags that big to like hold those boxes. Okay, so we got okay, so Super Nintendo for Christmas. How about a Saturday morning cartoon lineup? And it could be any cartoon series. It does not have to be a Saturday morning cartoon. It could be something that aired during the week. 3 cartoons that you would line up on a Saturday morning, have your bowl of Fruit Loops, whatever, and enjoy. What do you got for us?
Yeah, that's once again, it's a tough one because I watched so many cartoons back in the day, and even now because the era's changed, and Dave, I'm sure you can appreciate this having a daughter as well, is that Saturday morning cartoon feeling is just gone, and I really wish it was still kind of around for my daughter to enjoy as well. But for me, I have to go with my favorite cartoon of all time, and that would have been the 1989 Ninja Turtles. That was absolutely my favorite show of all time. I'm a huge Turtles fan. You can see in the back, I got which way is it? That way there. The Shredder's Revenge. I have tried to get as many of those as I can, those Ninja Turtle games. I still have my original Ninja Turtle toys as a kid. It's the only thing I have left. So it's got to be Ninja Turtles to start.
Okay.
Second one, I think there's so many great shows I could go with, but I think I'm going to go with the one that I enjoyed. And although I remember this one being after school, it's got to be Batman, the animated series.
Oh, okay.
What an insanely good show. It was just, for the time of superheroes, there really wasn't too much out there. There was that, and I think there was a Spider-Man show. The other ones were just kind of like, okay, but they couldn't grab my interest. That Batman show, I don't know what it was, and I could still go back and watch it, and I have gone back and watched it. It's so good. It's just written so well, and it just pulls you right on in. So that's gonna be my second. And my third, I'm gonna go with another easy one. I'm going with X-Men. That was Saturday morning. I think it was like 10 a.m. Fox. I remember every single time because there was a lot of times my parents wanted to go out at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and I had to miss it. So
you're like, no, get a VCR tape and record it.
That was it. That's exactly what I did. I get the VCR and start recording this stuff. So yeah, those are the 3 I got to go with. I mean, there were so many good ones. Like Chip and Dale was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I mean, even younger, I love My Pet Monster. My Pet Monster was so awesome. It was so fun because it was so unique. Do you mean?
Yeah,
Beetlejuice
the
was
cartoon
great as well. Yeah.
Not the movie.
Not the movie. The movie's terrible.
Right.
Oh, the
Beetlejuice.
movie.
Beetlejuice
Let's
is
not talk
great.
about
And
the
you-
movie.
If I can give an honorable mention because I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
Because this is a Canadian show. Maybe Keith knows it.
Oh, there you go, Keith.
Raccoons. I brought this up. I
Raccoons.
brought this up before. You guys had to look it
Yep,
up.
you did. Yeah.
It's funny because my daughter asked our Alexa device, like, what's the raccoons? And she goes into this whole spiel about it. And like, it was a really big Canadian show for 5 years, from 1985 to 1991, like 100 plus episodes. It was a
Wow.
lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, there's so many I could go through, but yeah, those are the ones I'm gonna have to go with.
Nice.
Nice. Cool.
Let's see. And then what are we wrapping it up with? Going down the warp pipe. If you could go somewhere, anywhere or time period, maybe relive a moment, let us know why. What would you choose?
Oh man, anywhere, anytime. Like if I was to go somewhere currently, I think that's what I would like to focus on. I think it would have to be anywhere in Japan because I absolutely love the culture they have, the pop culture they have in that era. Do you know what I mean? I absolutely loved it. But at the same point in time, if I'm going back in time, I want to go back to the 80s and early 90s. I want to go back and relive those ones because I had so many core memories as a kid. And it's not just, playing the Nintendos and playing with, my Ninja Turtle toys, my Ghostbusters and stuff like that. Like it was playing with card games and board games. I was a huge board game and card game player with my parents and my grandparents. Those are the memories that I always remembered and love to be able to go back and play again. And I try to do that now with my own daughter, just try and create those memories to say, hey, let's play these games. Let's have some fun. Let's build up these memories and not just be, playing just video games. And that's hard to do sometimes because I just want to play video games too.
Yeah, my daughter and I, we were playing. She goes to bed around 8:00, so we, around 7:20 or so. My wife is still at work, and so I was like, okay, well, if you want before bed, let's play a couple rounds of Mario Kart World. She likes to do the knockout rounds. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
Yep,
the
absolutely.
Mario Kart World, but she's 7. She loves the. And then so we did one race. I finished first. She finished second. And then I said, hey, I'm gonna let you play by yourself. I want to see you win. And destroyed it. She killed it. First place in the knockout rounds. Like playing with those online people, and like it's just
nice.
She's a little whiz when it comes to the Mario Kart. So, I mean, she's playing on 50cc. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but she's working her way up.
That's it. How high does it go with the new one?
It only goes up to
200.
No, it doesn't go to 200 yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have 200 yet. I mean, it's been out for how long now, and they haven't done any kind of like update for 200cc yet. No idea.
Who knows? In the future.
Yeah.
They got to milk this for 6-7 years, right? So.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you're not wrong. And it's funny too, because like, how are they going to build it? Because it's basically like already an open world. So how are they going to do like a Tears of the Kingdom thing and put like another sky
goes into
level?
space, galaxies.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways,
they'll make we'll get off and take other people's carts.
Right? Yeah. Grand Theft Auto style.
No? Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto style. Yeah, that would be great. I would love. That would be awesome.
All right, let's hear a quick word from the sponsor, and we'll get into the next segment here.
We'd like to thank this week's sponsor, Tom Ryan's Studio. More on them later in the episode.
All right, so we're going to jump over to our warp pipe rental. This is one that our friend here picked for us, and it's a great pick also. Go ahead, Ross.
Let's head to the video store, grab a game for the weekend. We have the box art and description to guide us when we're choosing what game to rent. So grab your rental card, because this is the Warp Pipe Rental.
What game you rent for the weekend?
All right, guys, we asked Ty what game you want to play, and we did a poll on the channel. You guys did end up voting in Jackal on NES, a classic 2-player, I guess, shoot 'em up, so to say, adventure shoot 'em up game. Box art, love it. It's got the Konami box art with that silver. Everything was silver with the early titles there, and it shows 2 awesome Jeeps, like total 80s poster action hero looking, and definitely seeing this at the rental store, you're like, oh, this looks fun.
And
Who played it? How far we get? It is fun. Does it say?
I want to hear
Better.
Ty. I mean, Ty's pick.
Same here.
Yeah. So I got I can't remember how far. I got pretty far on it, but then I got to one level, and I don't remember this level as a kid. Maybe because I played it in 2-player with like a family member. But this one level, it's got so many bosses in it and so many guns coming at you from every single angle. Like if you don't have the full power-ups at that time, you're not making it through the level. And I was like, I'll get back to this game. I'll get back to this game. Well, here we are, and I didn't get back to the game, but I have like a save file. I have it on a handheld device right now, and I'm like, I have a save state. I'm like, I gotta do this. I can't let this game not get through on it. But I mean, it's so much fun. It's just a great game for what it is, and for the time being, like it was kind of revolutionary in the way it was. Like it really helped, like, you know, it didn't make it challenging. It made it easy to get into. And like a lot of the games back then, like even if you think of Contra and stuff like that, those were tough games. This game made it very approachable and easy to get into. Or, you know, for me, like I had to sometimes ask my mom, because I'm an only child, to play with me. Well, this is a very easy game to get into because there's not too much on the controls. So it's fun. But how'd you guys do? How far did you get? Please tell me someone beat it this week.
I pulled up. I was streaming on Twitch actually, so I did a NES and chill stream where it's no mic, no camera. So I just have my Trinitron up there playing it, and I made it up to level 3 or 4, and just kept dying. One of the bosses, you get killed, then you're all the way back to grenades. So then it's like and it just makes it so much harder. And it's already difficult playing it solo. Definitely with a second player, this is probably a way easier playthrough and good time for sure.
And with the 2-player, it's co-op.
Yep, yeah, at the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
And this way you can kind of help each other out. I do like with the little guys, I always try to run them over. I always found that funny. Instead of shooting them, I'm like, yeah, just run these guys over.
Did you guys play this as a kid, or did you guys just kind of pick it up as later in life?
As a kid, yeah.
I played as a kid, yeah. So
You did.
I remember I played this, so I talked about that memory of Christmas. That same year is the year we moved back. I remember playing this at my grandmother's apartment building with my cousin the same year.
Nice.
And we got right to the end. And yeah, it's so much fun. And I think one of the big things about this game that really makes it shine is that if you lose all your lives, it's not too detrimental. You just start at the beginning of the level. You're not going all the way back, which makes it way more approachable to be able to play this game.
Right, instead of having like 3 continues and then starting all the way at level 1. It's like, no, you could just keep starting. You may not have any power-ups, but if you could just push through, certainly you get a little bit further in the game. And it also, soundtrack, fantastic, right?
Konami game.
Yeah, definitely doesn't let us down on that.
It kind of reminds me of like a bite-sized version of Contra for the top-down levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the sprites are a little smaller. So I mean, it's definitely a Konami game. I mean, you can immediately tell just by the music, right?
Yeah. This was the level I got to, and I couldn't get any further. It was a tough one.
What was
I got
the
past
issue?
this one.
I think just so many freaking enemies, and then like the bosses not having the upgrades.
Yep.
But Russ, what about save states?
That is true. I could have used. I didn't use them. Yeah,
Oh.
I was just going. I was playing straight up.
Yeah. How about you, Keith? What's your,
I think I made it to
experience?
about here as well. This is a good one. I played this one with a buddy, and we super enjoyed playing 2 players. Definitely had a little bit of issue with 2-player because I felt like we were kind of getting each other's way sometimes. And the one thing is the controls on this is it's like the guns always shoot kind of one direction, right? So you gotta have to move around correctly for it. But the grenades go one direction, so you got to move around correctly for it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's one
I
thing.
have a
found
question for you guys
was-
because I've never played this in co-op. So when you're in co-op, though, how is the framing of the screen with movement? Because you obviously can't go further than your counterpart,
Yep.
right?
Right. You get stuck essentially, and so
Yeah,
the other person
yeah.
has to move up.
Yeah.
So
So right
is it
now, if
just
someone's running
like-
the other way, he wouldn't be able to go that direction. It'd stop him, right? You have to kind of go
Oh,
with
I
the same
got you.
direction, stay on the same screen.
So
together.
it'll stop you just at the edges of
Yeah.
the screen.
But that
Okay.
could be hurtful because there could be an enemy
Mm-hmm.
right beyond that. So when the other Jeep starts moving, then that
Right.
enemy can hit you, and you're like, oh man. So you got to stay kind of somewhat together.
Yeah. So is it, Russ? You said it's a little easier for.
Yeah, because I
Co-op?
mean, obviously you got more guns on screen, and you can
Mm-hmm.
take care of left and right, especially with bosses. It's like, all right, you take care of the left side, I'll
Yeah.
do the right. So I feel like you could get through it a lot quicker, and even having, not upgraded weapons. Since there's two of you, you can attack enemies a lot quicker.
Because it's not like, was it Double Dragon that if you like hit your teammate,
Right? Yeah, friendly fire.
you lose. Right. So it's okay with that.
Yeah, you won't hurt each other. And you don't. I think you just go through each other if you're. I can't remember if you hit each other that way or not,
Okay.
but.
I can imagine you just crossing paths.
Right. And I always had wondered why they never made, Super Jackal on like Super Nintendo or something
Yeah.
like that. There is a game someone has suggested to me where you can either choose to be a Jeep or I think a helicopter. And I forgot the name of it and I played it and it didn't have that charm that, Jackal does. So
I mean, it seems like this could even get moved into a modern type game with, even if it's more of a third person view or first person view. I would say third person, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can make this into a 3D game because you don't really have games like this that are modern, right? Like that are just cars shooting, right?
right.
So it could be pretty cool.
I could see like a pixelated version because that seems to be the new style or trend.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's just updated
Yeah.
graphics. I mean, just the idea of not being able to get lag would be wonderful because there's some of those areas where you just get so many bombs. It'd be great just to not lag for like 1 second so I can get through.
Right.
Or even you would have online co-op, right? With
Yeah.
essentially.
That would be great too. How many levels is this game?
Let's see if I can get to this screen. Yeah, to show your progression. Because this is one of the
Yeah, it
one
kind of
the
moves
last
up,
levels.
which is different from the arcade version of it. It doesn't have that little map on it.
Oh, okay. And so,
This is a
Ty,
boss,
what's your
yeah.
experience? So, Ty, you've finished this game before?
I have beat the game before. It's been
Six.
many
6.
years, since I've beaten this game. I'm sure I could go back and beat it again if I practice. I'll tell you right now, I have that save state. I'm going back. I'm beating this game one way or another. By the time this episode airs, I'm going to have this thing beat. I'll tell you right now.
Nice. Awesome.
But yeah, it's been a long time, and I think back then, like I was playing at co-op, and that does make it a lot easier to be able to get through some of the stages. Because I mean, someone could just tank some of the damage and makes it a little bit easier. So you're constantly using your power to make sure you're hitting those bosses and stuff like that. But as Russ said, like when you're in 2-player, you're not seeing extra enemies. It's not like there's extra difficulty. You're essentially just having extra firepower. And the only
Right.
downfall is that the only player one is the one that's scrolling the screen. But I've even said one of the biggest things for this game is that you can go back, which is huge for any type of shoot 'em up style type game, because usually you can only go one way and you can't scroll that screen
Yeah,
backward.
once it goes, but you can go all the way back down if you want. You're like,
Yeah.
let's see if we missed anything.
So this
Yeah.
is co-op.
Yeah,
we're
so
looking at here.
you get a brown Jeep and a green Jeep,
Nice.
and yeah, you're kind of locked into the frame there, but
It's a
I
fun
see.
one.
yeah, for sure. I would say if you guys haven't played Jackal, certainly put it on your list to give it a go. And fantastic couch co-op. Yeah, see with 2 players in your fully
Oh,
upgraded
yeah.
missiles, like this is
Yeah.
nothing for the bosses.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
This boss sucked. It's not fun doing it with grenades on that boss.
Oh, wow.
And I will say, I love the little cutscenes that they do when you beat it with the guys in the Jeep. Yeah! And then it shows your little progression. This way you knew how far, you're going. You're like, all right, we're only this many levels away from beating the game. So, rating it, I mean, I'm giving this 5 out of 5. I think it's fantastic. Classic NES game.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Ty?
Yeah, this is a fantastic game. You don't get games like this anymore. Like you said, Dave. It's such a unique experience to what it is and to what it was, and I absolutely love it. It's a 5 out of 5 for me as well.
Okay. How about you, Keith?
Yeah, I would go 5 out of 5 as well. This is a super fun one. This is definitely one I recommend picking up if you have never played it before.
Okay.
It's on you, Dave.
You guys are gonna hate me. I'm gonna go like
1.
4 out of 5 just because it's like not one of my go-to style of games. You know
That's
what I
fair.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I just want to like platform and beat people up and beat them ups and stuff like that. So 5 out of 5 for music. Konami, you rule. But
There you go.
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 just because it's not it's not something that I would regularly go out and do. Like
Gotcha.
if it wasn't always top down, maybe, but like that's why I like Contra, because it goes side scrolling, and then there's also the top down levels and stuff like that, and then there's also like those levels where you go into the level. So yeah.
Do you think the rating would have changed if you played in co-op?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, I think it's just the style of game. I think it's
Okay.
just, like I said, when it comes to Contra, where you got the side scroll, then you got the top down, and then you got that one where you're going into the level, right? Like from like the third person view, it gives you that variety. This one, I would knock it down to 4 just for the lack of the variety.
They could have, done a driving level and then maybe done side scrolling where you're out of the Jeep and you're shooting a gun. Like Contra.
Yeah, like Blaster Master.
Yeah. Who knows?
Like something like that. Who knows? But yeah.
All right.
But anyway, next week.
What are we doing next week? Something you're more into?
A little bit. We're gonna get into my favorite movie franchise of all time, Ghostbusters, but we're gonna play the Sega Master System version. This is actually, a lot of people say this is the best version of Ghostbusters to play for the retro games. So,
Okay.
well, we're gonna play it. We're gonna see how it is. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, these are like the little chibi characters.
Okay. I played.
Yeah.
I forget which one it is. Maybe it's a European Ghostbusters, or I forget what it is, but I have played one similar to that. So I imagine it's the same, or maybe a port of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Master System Ghostbusters for next week's Warp Pipe rental.
Excellent. I dig it.
All right, we're going to jump into a Throwdown Showdown. We're going to put 2 things from our past, our childhood, maybe up against each other and see how they would handle in a full-out brawl this time. Go ahead, Russ. All right, guys. Today we are going to do sword versus sword. Any idea what we're talking about here today?
I'm not a clue. I kind of have an idea, but
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Are we going? I see a Master Sword. I want to say Master Sword versus Buster Sword. Those are my 2 famous swords.
No, we're cartoons. We're looking at cartoons today. We're going LionO versus He-Man.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Right? Sword of Omens versus the Power Sword here. So,
wow.
This is a classic 80s final boss matchup, really. Sword versus sword, magic versus muscle. Let's break it down and see what this looks like with some cartoon logic rules here. So our champions are LionO from the Thundercats. He wields the Sword of Omens.
Okay.
He has enhanced strength, speed, and senses. The sword can see the truth, extend, shoot energy, and warn you of dangers, or him of dangers. He's a tactical leader, fights smarter over time. His strengths are magical versatility, battlefield awareness, sight beyond sight, and adaptable mid-fight. His weaknesses, he's still learning. He's sometimes hesitant, and the power often reacts rather overwhelming. All right.
Right, because LionO is a child.
In that original cartoon, yeah, he's a young man, right?
He's a child. Yeah.
Speaking of young men, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. He wields the power sword. He's nearly limitless physical strength, can survive planet-level threats. He's confident, he's direct, and he's relentless. His strengths are his raw power is on a mystic scale. His his durability that borders on invincibility, and he overwhelms his opponents quickly. His weakness, he's less subtle, and he tends to rush straight into stuff. So, opening fight here, guys. They both transform. Swords collide. How do we think this is going to happen when we first start this battle between our two champions here? They're coming at each other, charging in, colliding with one another. What are we thinking?
I mean, I'm going He-Man.
Well, it's tough because because you did say sword versus sword. So are we taking account into
with the sword versus
the sword?
Yeah. Well, they are fighting with their swords.
They're just floating in.
I would go He-Man. I mean, He-Man's coming in hot. I mean, he's relentless, like you said. And then the thing about Russ, I know you're a LionO fan, but the bottom line is, like, if you watch those cartoons back, he's a little whiny.
Well, he is a boy, right?
Right. So, he's I don't know. I think you put him up against He-Man, especially those swords.
I mean, he does have his claw, though, right?
Yeah, but we're not talking about the claws.
But we're talking about them fighting.
We're
that's why I said
them fighting. This is full fight. They're using all their abilities.
Okay,
it's not just like Russ. It's not just these swords floating at each other here.
Yeah, but He-Man's just got like superhuman abilities. Like, I don't know. Okay.
What are we thinking, Ty?
I'm going He-Man.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm trying to think back of what would be, and I think that, Dave, I think you're right. I think it's got to be He-Man, because I think he's charging that fight, and just the sheer overpowering of starting that fight right away is just going to overpower right away, and it's just going to end it right away. Like, that's the way I see this. If the fight continues into a longer fight, yeah, then LionO wins this without a doubt. But I think that Prince Adams just had too much experience with dealing with this type of fighting that he's just can take it right on out of the ballpark right away.
And the thing too is, like, He-Man's in like another galaxy. Like, they're basically like aliens. I guess.
I mean, so are the Thundercats, right? Don't they come to Earth?
They're legitimately aliens.
I know, but I don't know. If you're talking with the magic power of the sword, come on. It's very hard to.
Well, that's why it's a Throwdown Showdown. It wouldn't be any this
right
versus Donatello's bow staff.
Well, what do you think, Russ? I want to know your.
I feel like maybe the sword of Omen has a little more versatility, right? It could be a dagger, and then it grows into power. It has the sight and all that. Also, He-Man's is just helps him transform.
We are talking initial clash here,
initial clash though.
Yeah.
So if he has to get into the battle,
well, that's what I said. He does have his nice claw to be able to, like, maybe block some of the sword and get some initial swings in.
Rob tells us that LionO immediately realizes that He-Man absolutely hits harder here. He's got all that strength and all that power, and LionO is a little shocked at what's coming at him, which moves us to our second phase of the battle, the tactical shift, like Russ is talking about here. Nice segue, Russ. LionO uses the Sword of Omens to extend, disarm, blind, and scout. He-Man tanks most of it, and he keeps on advancing. Now that LionO is kind of using that Sword of Omens to do what it can do, what are we thinking here? This mid-level battle, a little more tactics. LionO's kind of assessed He-Man and knows what he's up against, and he is, doesn't just charge in like He-Man does all the time.
Mm-hmm. I think in the mid battle, they kind of size each other up. I think like what you said, Keith, like he's learned his ways, He-Man's ways, and I think that I think that they're a little even for a little bit before things are about to go a little
Ty, what are you thinking
one
here?
other way.
Yeah, I think we see a tempo shift here. I definitely see Lionel definitely be able to push back. If Lionel gets to this mid-fight section, he's definitely pushing back, and He-Man's going to be backpedaling a little bit. I mean, it's a test of endurance, and if that's the case, I think Lionel has it. The question is whether or not He-Man in the end can just muster more strength over top of Lionel. And mid-fight, I see Lionel just being able to push back, get himself right back in the game, and be able to take that one.
Russ, what are we thinking here? Mid-fight tactical shift, everything you talked about.
Yeah, I mean, definitely see giving it to LionO here for sure because I feel like just has. I mean, he's part cat, right? He's going to be agile, jumping around, being able to dodge He-Man, and he's got dual weapons. He's got his claw. He's got the sword and the cunningness, and He-Man's just coming in brute strength. That's where he shines the most. If he does end up making contact with LionO, right, it's going to hurt. But he's jumping out of the way, doing his flips and jumping around.
Yeah. I feel like LionO's got the speed. He's a little bit more agile.
Maybe He-Man could get a boulder and throw it at him, but LionO's going to dodge that easily.
Yeah, he's a lot younger than He-Man.
Pretty good here, Russ. So the Sword of Omens definitely warns LionO, but sadly, the blows just keep coming, and the Sword of Omens can't stop those blows coming from He-Man. Every time He-Man can get in there, he's landing a hit, and it's making LionO stagger back. You can be as cunning as you want, but when you're getting hit by a tractor trailer, it's definitely going to knock you off your feet. All right, the end game here. Who do we think wins this fight in the end? All in, all said and done. He-Man's strength, He-Man's power versus LionO and a cunning and, Sword of Omens. What are we thinking here? Who and how does this battle end for us here?
He-Man.
Ty,
no questions asked.
Does he just punch the sword?
He's just, he's got the power. So, he's got the power. That's all I got to say, guys. Rest my case.
Yep.
I think Dave's 100% right. Yeah, it's just the true power is just gonna hammer away there, and it's just the unrelentless attacks that you just said, Keith, is just gonna keep pushing LionO down, and he's not gonna have a time to catch his breath. And I think that's just more of a trained fighter from He-Man just to just win this one outright. So I'm going with He-Man for sure.
Russ?
Well, yeah, He-Man's gonna have to take it in the end. Unfortunately, he's been in more battles, has that strength, and I feel like LionO's better leader. So to get the Thundercats to when he's fighting up against Mumra or anyone else, like battle in numbers definitely helps him out in the long run. But if it's just a one-on-one with that, he'll probably end up folding at some point.
He-Man's also up 2-0 in movie franchises.
Ooh, there you go.
We got Thundercats on the way, I think.
No, it's not going to happen. It should happen,
right.
But it's still. I hope it happens.
It's in development.
I don't know why they didn't do they did a Netflix animated series for He-Man. I don't know why they don't do a Thundercats one.
Right.
It's a good opportunity.
They should try it.
But what did Rob say?
Rob says our final winner, you guys got it right. He-Man wins, and his explanation as to why is He-Man's strength ceiling is absurdly high. LionO can't outthink him. He lands one clean hit. LionO is down, but not defeated. He-Man hesitates just long enough for LionO to recover, but just not long enough to not lose. So He-Man wins the end game. He-Man is our final winner here. LionO can outthink him, but not overpower him. In a straight fight, raw power is going to win in this occasion. So the verdict on the breakdown here from Rob tells us that strength and magic, LionO. Strength and durability, He-Man. Battlefield control using that Sword of Omens, LionO. Decisive finishing power, He-Man. 80s cartoon logic champion is He-Man. But if we look in an alternate canon mid-fight here, they stop fighting. They realize that Skeletor and Mumra have teamed up. They join forces, and the universe does not survive that powerful of a team up. Anyways, so that's how this Throwdown Showdown ends. He-Man for the win, but let us know in the comments what you guys think and who you would have been rooting for, He-Man or LionO. Sword of Omens versus Sword of Power. There we go.
Awesome.
Throwdown Showdown.
Sweet. That was a good one, guys. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break and hear from our sponsor, and we'll be back with our main topic.
Who defends this city?
Batman and Robin.
Batman. The Dark Knight. The bat unleashes an ambush attack.
Evil is ground to dust. We're going to burn.
Robin. The Boy Wonder. The Blast Wing.
Bringing Freeze to his knees. Now show him the blade.
The bat is cool. The jet blade. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Now that's hot. Who defends this city? It could be you.
I am
Batman. Be the man. Batman. Batman and Robin. Vehicles and figures each sold separately.
Go ahead, stretch it out, give it all you got. It's Super Netball, yeah, sizzling hot. Catch it, don't let it drop. Super Netball, take your best shot.
Play Super Netball, the action shoot and catch game with the power stretch net that sings a squish Super Netball over 100 feet.
Super Netball, yeah, it's super hot.
Super Netball, another great squish product from Cap Toys. Who else?
Our sponsor this week is artist Tom Ryan from Tom Ryan Studio. And if you're a comic fan, well, listen up. Tom creates hand-drawn sketch covers, variant comic covers, and he's done published work with Dynamite Comics. He also makes enamel pins and color-rich art prints that pop. And here's the quality flex. If it's a print error, he won't sell it. No laziness, no rushed batches, and no AI art. Just legit talent and love for the craft. Check out Tom Ryan Studio on Etsy or click the link down below to head to his site and use our code to save some cash. Support someone who actually draws his work. Tom Ryan Studio. Sweet. All right. Jumping into moving a game room. I've done it before. I don't know if Dave, I guess maybe Dave's moved some game room stuff. Expanded your room, broke it down. Not so much. It's always been there. Rearranged. So you got the rearranged side.
So upstairs, before I had this, I had an upstairs office, but I didn't really have like a big collection, and that was only like. We built this and finished it right before COVID hit.
Yeah, that's right.
So this room's only 6 years old.
Okay.
And, now that you're making me think about it, man, I have a problem.
We've all been thinking
this is a lot. Like, to think about where my collection was before I built this room, yeah, I might have a problem.
Listen. Stop getting so many grails.
Oh my god, you don't want to hear about the grails.
Just lay off on the My Pet Monster stuff. Jeez Louise, you don't have to own everything.
A new one just came in, actually, guys.
Anyways, so I've moved 3 times so far with game room stuff, so I have that input in there. And I know Ty is literally in a move of you could see boxes in the background. Looks like plywood, so he's packed up and at a new place. Yeah. And you've been doing a series, I know, on TikTok and your social medias of like opening some of the moving boxes.
Yeah.
To be like, what's in this box? I don't remember packing it. Let's see what's in here, kind of. And that's one unique way to almost turn unpacking into some extra content on there.
Yeah, and that was it was kind of interesting it's interesting in 2 ways. One, it's as I've done that little bit of series, I go back and I still don't remember where half the stuff is that I've packed, and I'm still trying to figure out where stuff is. even before tonight, I couldn't figure out where I packed the extension cords, and I've been here since August. I'm like, digging through. I unplugged things, unplugged my computer, and like, oh, that was the wrong cord to unplug. So yeah, it's been fun. But like, one of the cool things about doing that, I had a game I had packed away, didn't think about it, and I pulled out, looked at it. Turned out this game jumped in price, so I bought this game for like $50 US.
Okay.
Game was worth $300. It jumped, and
wow,
even
that much.
as of like a couple days ago, it was, or a couple, I should say, a month ago, it was $500. It just jumped. Yeah.
What game is this?
So it is Star Wars Racers for the PS4, and the reason it's so unique is that it's the physical copy, because I'm a physical media collector, because I believe in physical media, and I got this from Limited Run Games. They had like a blowout sale, like, oh, you know what? This seems like a cool game. I have some memories of playing this back on N64. I'm like, it'd be really cool to have this on the PS4 to play. And it's one of those things where I bought it, and then, you know, we're getting ready to move, so I threw it in a box, didn't think about it. Well, one reason or another, this game went up in price, and the reason it went up in price is because it turns out this game somehow has an ability to hack your PS5 to the point where Sony can't fix it. It's a hardware issue. So it's the only known hack that cannot be patched out. So the price went right up.
So everyone's buying them to do that, not to play the game, essentially.
Exactly.
What is it that the hack does?
So it allows you to go and download and make like a complete emulation of your PlayStation 5. So you can hack it and do whatever you want. So if you've heard of like people hacking their Switch, they can get all the games and download all the games. So you can emulate all the games. It's that type of thing there. I had no interest in it because I like my products not to get, you know, bricked or
so,
I want to be able to use it, because I mean, I use it, my daughter uses it. You know, I don't need that, but I could sure use $300 or, you know, $500. So
if you sell it that way. Yeah.
See you later. About selling
it? Okay.
Yeah, it's gone. I sold it at $350. I paid the guy $50 commission to sell it for me. So I got $300 cash, and that went right straight to the Dreamcast collection.
Nice.
I got some absolute great games out of it. So I mean, I don't regret it for a minute. And I mean, I don't need my PlayStation hacked. I mean, if I'm playing anything that's, you know, needs an emulation, it's probably going to be something older. You know, I mean, it's just because they're a little bit more common, easier to come by. I mean, if you think of games like, you know, anything on the Nintendo, there's so many reprints of those games, even just from Nintendo being released itself between Switch Online. I don't need to ever go back and play that. And with just the plethora of games that are out there, I don't got time to go back and play all those games anyways. I got more games I want to play anyways.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'd say
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, because I think like if we're going in levels of moving a game room, I have a question, because Ty is in the middle of his move now. Ty, is this the first time you're doing a move?
So this is the first move as an adult with a full-on collection. So I've moved several times as a child. I don't want to say like I moved a lot. I moved it like 3 times as a child, and a lot of times when moving, you lose things in the downsizing. So like most of the stuff from my childhood, I don't have anything. I have nothing. I have a can full of toys, and that's all I have left. And I'm kind of sad because I used to have Technodrome. I used to have the Ghostbusters house. I had a lot of really cool things, but sometimes they just don't make the move. It's just easier to sell it instead of bringing it along, you know, 2 hours down the road than 2 hours back or wherever it is. So you just lose all that. So I mean, I literally have beside me a can of some old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys from my childhood that are literally, the can, it was used for dog food. So it was cleaned out, and that's what my mom used to store all these things. And
I'm like, how big is this can? When you said a can, I'm like, he must have Muscle Man and Monsters in My Pocket if it's a can, like small items. It's supposed to be like a popcorn tin can or something like that. Let's see. Oh yeah, one of those. Oh wow, okay.
Wow.
I've never seen dog food come in that before.
I've never seen. That's wild.
A big giant Iams can.
Yeah. So my question is, because Ty's in the middle of it, and I'm, you know, I've moved my stuff from like room to room, like that, and I've moved stuff out, moved stuff in. But Russ, like you've done it 3 times now, right?
Yeah, because essentially with my experience of moving obviously I had began in my mom's basement where my original game room was, right? And built that up for the many years. If you see any of my early YouTube videos, everything is shot there. And it was there for quite some time. When I had moved out the first time, I only brought a select things here and there. And when I met Stephanie, I ended up moving into her condo. And the beginning of that, it's a 1-bedroom condo, right? None of my stuff can fit there. We ended up purchasing the condo directly next to us. And we were able to take down the wall in between the two, combining the condos. So then I took that bedroom as my game room. So then I was going from a full basement to a condo bedroom as the game room. And I have videos of me bringing stuff over. Dave helped me out.
Yeah.
Dave's dad
You've
was
actually
there, so
moved
helped me out
4 times
with this.
now that I'm thinking about it, because you were in a 2-family house before you went to the condo.
Right. That's what I was
there.
saying. Yeah. So I didn't bring everything. I mean, I brought my physical games there and TV stands and all that. And then I went back to mom's and then back to the condo.
And then the condo was small, so you couldn't really fit a whole lot of.
Yeah,
stuff,
I made you. If I could pull up some videos to see how small it is there. I ended up taking the closet that they had in there and making that a like a DIY section, essentially.
Because even when we got your Play Choice 10 and all that stuff, like that couldn't fit in the condo, so that had to go to your mom's house, and that couldn't even go to your that, and then that ended up going to your new house.
Right. I mean, again, it's just a little bedroom here. Okay, so we got more here of us moving stuff. I'll get to the actual.
Oh, look at those young guys.
Yeah. So we brought like my arcade 1-up machine. That was easy enough to fit in there, essentially being in a bedroom. But I fit a couch in there, TV. We got some display stands, and I made use of the room for sure. Like I said, I didn't bring everything in my game room, so I was missing some stuff. But for the size of it, you could kind of see, we're picking up shelves. Me and my wife were doing a lot of this ourselves, so you kind of get that DIY action in there. So I'm hanging some shelves. But that's it. That's the room there. You got to make use of that. And some of my items come over from that. And basically, I went from this small room to where I am currently, which is it's above. We have a 3-car garage, and I'm above the 3-car garage. The only downside to this room, which you could kind of see in the wall colors here, it's shaped like that.
It's like a cape.
Loft style.
So I can't put anything on the angled part of the wall, so it limits. I would love to have tall bookcases, and all that. So I have to have very short bookcases to keep my stuff in, and that posed a problem. I do have. Let's see if I could pan my camera over here. You can see the Play Choice right over there, essentially, and that had to be pushed up against closets that we built into this room, so we would have a flat wall to then push those up against, because otherwise they wouldn't be. It would be a big space behind it, which I guess you could do storage too. But
so when it comes to you got everything, you got everything packed up. You pack it all up. You put it in the car. You bring it to your new place. Do you have an idea of the process of, like, do you mark the boxes of what you want to put out first? Did you have a plan of what kind of shelving you need? Because you kind of knew what the new house looked like. Russ, same question for you. Did you have a plan of attack when you're unboxing everything and then making sure like things are labeled and this is like, did you have an idea of the layout of how things are going to progress from here? I'll ask Ty first.
Yeah. That's a tough one because there's multi-layers to that one. So to back it up a little bit, when you're saying, did you label it? You can actually see probably if you look behind, I gotta remember I'm mirrored here. You can just say it says Game Room and it says Wii U. That was the limit. That was the limit of how I label these things. And I tell you right now, my wife keeps making fun of me because I still can't find some of the stuff I'm looking for. So I did not label these things that great.
That's okay. Russ can't find stuff he's looking for either. I had to find a N64 game for him 2 weeks ago.
You know what I found today? my Transformer Scorponok figure
No kidding.
that I didn't know where it was, and me and Dave almost a year ago now went to a game store, and I was missing the head to the Scorponoks. And
Wait a minute, I thought you had the Scorponoks in your glass case.
no, he wasn't in there.
Okay.
Unless you're remembering it maybe at the other game room.
So you found it.
So it was in the closet, in Steph's closet on that side, in a dresser drawer, because she went up and she's like,
God.
oh, some of your clothes are in my dresser. I was looking for it. So I said, all right, I'll empty it out. I looked at the other drawers and I was like, oh, here's the Scorponoks here. So I'm still finding stuff.
So he shipped the Scorponoks in his dresser with his clothes.
Well, that's what it shows how much organization I have with like not much stuff was labeled like you said. I probably did a bunch that just said game room. I wasn't breaking it down to like NES games or we just put stuff in drawers just to kind of get it in here. And I was just I have some here of us just literally like throwing things together just in the U-Haul truck. So we had like I didn't want to keep the U-Haul truck as much as possible because $20 to rent it. I think I ended up getting the bigger one, which was like $40. But we brought couches, had to come over to the game room, and anything that was too big to fit inside our cars, because a lot of stuff. I will say, I work at Costco, and in the bakery, our croissants come in this box, and it's like the perfect size for like moving stuff, and they're like sturdy. So I took home easily 40 croissant boxes and just taped those up, and they stack really well. We still have a bunch around the house, and I did buy a bunch of Costco bins as well.
Is that why your games smell like a bakery?
Sweets and treats.
So let me. I have a question for Keith. Because Keith, you've never had your game room somewhere else?
Technically, I didn't have a game room for a lot of years.
Okay.
So this is a small house, 2 bedrooms, and a great room, kitchen, living room, dining room area on the other side. Was a bathroom in between. Not a lot of space here, and there was 2 of us living here for quite a while. So my game room was my bedroom, and I would sit on my bed to play video games. And then when my roommate moved out, he bought a house, moved out, I had this space as like a den type area. There was a couch and there was a big table and TV and stuff. And then eventually I was like, no, I want to change this up. So I turned it into what it is now and made it into my game room with the YouTube setup and the computer and everything. So I've transitioned to having the space, but I've never had to pack it up and move it quite yet. So
where was all of the stuff beforehand, or did you just kind of like start to build it because you had the space?
It was in stacks. There was stacks of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't have all the board games that are on this shelf back here. That wasn't there. And that space back there used to be a closet that I just took the doors off and made into a desk. And this black thing here is actually a washer dryer unit. This is my laundry room too. I just cover it up. So just tried to make use of the space the best I could, right? So that's what it is. The arcade used to be out in the living room, right? So built it as I needed it.
Yeah. So I've never I mean, come to think of it, like I never really moved a game room. Like this is, like I said, I had a moderate size collection 6 years ago. It fit in like an office space like Russ had, but it was like in a corner of a room. I had some comic books or whatever, and then so I guess I'm lucky that I haven't had to have the move, but I can only imagine, because there are a lot of things that I have that are in other rooms that are boxed up, that are just in storage or whatever. And every now and then I want to kind of take some stuff out of here, move it, maybe bring something in or make room for something else. And that in itself is overwhelming. You know, I have a whole shed of like overstock that I sell at toy shows and all of that. And a lot of my collection, like I actually did Shop the Curiosity last week, and I took stuff out of my personal collection to sell at the show. So it's, I say it all the time that it's very extremely overwhelming when you have this much stuff. And then when you have to figure out a way to move it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you have to move it, it's even more overwhelming because where do you begin? Like you start boxing stuff up, but like I can't even imagine boxing up this room.
Right. That's what I said.
Like-
a lot of everything just kind of go. It depends how much time you have. Yeah, those Costco bins are fantastic for just throwing whatever in, and we'll figure it out after. Essentially, this was
Right.
at my first game room in my mom's basement, so we were loading up some of the arcade cabinets and trying to get those out into the.
Oh, that's in the new house. Yeah.
Yeah. So we took both of those. Shout out to Tony. He came over with his truck there, and we drove to the new place. Obviously, the Pac-Man was nice because the Pac-Man stays downstairs, so it was just going in here. But getting the Play Choice upstairs, it has 2 CRT monitors in there, and just trying to lift that. Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't have made it in here without Tony. He did 90% of the lifting and pulling this up the stairs. We got it all the way up to the top here, and I couldn't. The wall was blocking me essentially, right? I couldn't go further back, so we had to tilt the machine and almost go like vertical, like straight up to get it in there. So like that's something to take into consideration too. Like, are you moving with the condo? We were moving from the 3rd floor to the house here, so we had to take everything down from the 3rd floor, pack it up, and then go up to the 2nd floor here at the house. So that's a consideration as well, moving, and if you have the time, being more organized with everything, then it does help with the organization of unboxing stuff. Like, here's all my NES games. I think I just put all my consoles in like one of those yellow and black bins, and then you just kind of visualize when you get into the room where stuff is going to go. Steph visualized this room differently. She didn't like how I have basically a section here with my couch and TV, and then over there she's like, I figured you come in and have the couch over here in the middle, like you'd walk in and do that, and maybe she wants to change it down the road. I'm like, oh, we could keep it like this for now, and we'll see how it works, because there's still a ton of bins in this section here that's just stuff that I still either got to go through or downsize, because again, I can only display so much stuff with the curved walls or angled walls. So you're like, I can't have as much stuff, even though
Do you want to know?
room is big.
Do you want to know my opinion of why you have your setup the way you are?
Okay.
Now that you mention it, now that we were having this conversation, Ty,
This is intervention time.
Yes. So I've known Russ we've known each other for over 20 years or so. And when Russ first started his YouTube, you were at your mom's house.
Yeah.
And you had your couch, you had your coffee table, you had your TV.
Right.
Then you went to your 2-family house. You had your couch, you had your coffee table, you had your TV.
Well, that one was angled. I had the couch here, but then the entertainment center was, so it wasn't bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, but it was close enough.
Yeah, it was close.
But what I'm saying is, you're right on top of it. You were within like 5 feet from
right.
it, Now you go up to the condo, same thing. You're at the length of the width of the room. You got your couch, you got your
right.
coffee table.
Basically, I took the condo and moved it to here to this section.
And I think
so this
that's
is the condo.
why maybe Russ is a creature of habit, and he doesn't like change, and he wants it compact into one space. So he has everything at arm's length, especially when it comes to streaming and
right.
Things like that.
Well, that's what I had mentioned to her. Whereas, like, I like having the the sections. So I have this here, and then if I pan over here, you can see like my amplifier and like music. So that's like my music section over there, and then behind us we have a big table, so that's going to be like DIY stuff where she pictured it as more of a bigger. But I was like, I need the room. I need emptiness over here. So when I'm filming, I can have walk around. Like I was like, if there's a couch over here, and then this is my table with I put my cameras on and all that. It's in my way, and then I'm like, that just doesn't flow right with me. So, I mean, you certainly can map it out, especially with today. I'm sure there's programs you can throw your dimensions in and do all that before you start bringing in couches and bookcases.
I think what Russ has done is that, at least from what I understand and just following Russ for as long as I have, I think he's segmented each section into each one of his YouTube channels. So I think there's 12 sections, each one for a different channel.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That's it. You found me out.
True. It is true. I mean, he has his DIY
Where's
section.
snacky snack time in there? What section?
That's on the couch. So that's it. That's
Fridge
right
is
where he
beside.
sits.
Yeah, right there.
He's got a cooler right there next to him.
So Rustly Man is over at the music station then.
Right,
yes,
right.
The wrestling man.
How about I wish I filmed it. I had the guys come over 2 weekends ago. They were working on my Play Choice 10, Ernie and Noah, and they were set up. Like I said, I have this is a standing desk back here. So they had my monitor on here of the Play Choice, and they were soldering. They were recapping the board. So intense work. So they're doing that there, and then you pan slightly over to here, and I'm here with my guitar, and Gwen has a microphone, and I have the music blasting, and we're just doing like a concert, like right there, right behind them. It was like, how are you guys focusing? She just wanted to sing and hang out. So I'm like, Steph took a video. She came upstairs and kind of snuck and took a video, and we were singing some Danny Go song. But I was like, I like that you can run around and do that. And, you could always change it if you're like, this isn't working, or you get some, obviously we are DIY. If you've seen any of my videos, me and my wife are both handy with saws and nail guns and anything here. So once we have the time and the, I guess, extra money, so to say, because wood's so freaking expensive, probably build custom cabinets here to fit the space. Exactly. Right now, I'm just using existing cabinets. I did get paint, and we painted them all the same black color. So this way it matches and they all look the same. And, it works for what we have right now. I feel like that's kind of a lot of people would contest to that. Like, what can I do right now with the things that I have? And you're like, okay, this doesn't really match. I got a white desk and this one here, and this one's stained. Maybe just paint them all one color, and then it looks a little more uniform, and you get by for a year or so until you have time to change it or money.
For me personally, like, I've tried to figure out a different configuration for this room for so many times, and I don't really think there's much I can do, because this is also my workstation. So like, what people can't see is this desk is in the middle of the room, and then there's stuff in front of me. There's a TV across from me. I'm against a wall here. And then there's an L shape. So this is actually like, it looks like a lot bigger than it is. But if you guys look, like, this is the end of the wall right here. So like, this is a wall.
And it only goes a little bit more into that red area back there.
Right. And so on that's kind of like collection stuff there. This is collection stuff here. And so I've tried to figure out, because I would love to put a couch down here, you know what I mean? But like, there's just not enough room if I wanted to have a workstation.
Right.
So I think later down the road, the idea would be make this the toy room, and then maybe I can clear out a little bit of the other half of the basement just as an office space. That is kind of like, that would be a cool goal. But I'm going to be honest with you, I like working here with the TV and doing all that stuff. And
right. Kind of get a vibe going.
Yeah. So, but it's a very awkward shape. And then on top of it, I have a baseboard heat that's electric. So
boogie.
You can't really block that stuff. Do you know what I mean? So you got to keep that kind of open. So like, I have a little raised kind of like, it's this weird like bench. It's like a wooden bench, that I have a CRT TV on over there, and then like VHS tapes and everything like underneath it. So like there's not really a whole lot I could do. And then I have this random wall that jets out over here that works as way as a little shelf, because we have the water shut-off valve for outside.
So duct work.
Yeah, well, yeah, essentially, it's just work, it's for the water line. So I had to build this little shelf that's there as well. So it's not like, and I don't like putting I could always put the desk against a wall, but then I won't face the TV.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you're not going to put the desk here and a TV right here.
Right.
Right
so
in
I
your
have
face.
Right. So I have the desk here. The TV is across from me. It's about, I don't know, 8 feet away.
Yeah.
And so
a little bit similar to how I have my TV here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would rather not have something up against a wall where then I have to look this way, type, and then the TV's over there. You know what I mean? So now I can kind of look up, work, do what I think, do the thing and whatever. So, space is, I don't know. So Ty, so question for you is, do you have a plan? Did you say you were there since August?
August. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Are you in a basement too? I'm curious what this.
Yep,
okay.
In the basement. Yeah.
So what is the process for you looking like right now? Like, what do you have to do?
What is the vision?
Great questions. I'd love to be able to say I have a vision, but I often like to quote Joker here and say, do I really look like a man with a plan? You know what I mean? It's honestly, so what you're seeing behind me is going to be the most room, and it's been something I've been trying to figure out for the longest time. So I am in the basement. There is right now no walls to the left and right of me. I would show it to you. I don't think you're going to see too much, though. You can kind of see it's just emptiness. There's storage over there, and then over here there's actually like a water reader and the electrical box. So there's really not much there. So I've been trying to plan with my father-in-law, who's been doing a lot of the work for us, knocking down walls, trying to figure out where we're going to put things, because right now it's wide open, right? And I mean, even as I'm doing this podcast right now with you guys, this is even where I actually have my normal desk set up. I'm on a fold-out table with all my regular stuff, because
I dig it.
My desk is upstairs in our extra, like our guest room, which is just filled with boxes. And that has some game stuff in it. This has game stuff. Like, my stuff is scattered across everywhere. The fact I could find anything to put behind me was just a miracle for tonight on its own.
So I mean, dress it up.
Exactly. So the vision is essentially what I'd like to do is I want to have a section where I can have my computer set up, so I can, I used to be streaming. I'd like to get back to streaming, but right now everything's just too much all over the place. It's not worthwhile. It's also why I can't do any long content, and I try to stick to the short content on TikTok and Instagram. But the goal is to eventually get an area where I can have a regular TV. I can play modern games, but I also have a very big, my buddy who I'll shout out, his name's Brett. He had this big, huge 27-inch monster tube TV with a VHS DVD built in. I dragged this thing up my stairs. I'll tell you right now, this thing weighed like 1,000 pounds. I dragged up the stairs.
Oh, I imagine.
And it's gorgeous. It's so much fun, and I love it. And I want that section. And the vision is I want something like that. And like I have the Sony Trinitron. I want like a retro gaming station so I can play these games, because I still love playing those games. Like, there's a lot of ways to play these retro games today. But I mean, you play Super Mario World on the Switch versus playing on the Super Nintendo, it doesn't feel the same. But as I'm going through this, the question I have for all of you actually is, if you're thinking of the game rooms you've built right now, what's the one thing? Actually, I have two questions. What's the one thing you would suggest, and what's your biggest regret in what you've made in your room so far that you wish you just didn't do at all?
Okay.
I know, tough questions. Sorry,
come back to me.
I reversed the roles here. You were asking me questions.
No, that's a great. That's a really, really good question.
Becomes
because honestly, one of the hardest things to build, like building this room and trying to look, and I've Russ, I watched those videos when you were moving in, and my wife PTSD for not having your kitchen done for the longest time. She was going nuts.
It's still not done.
You and me both, Ty. I still go over his house and I'm like, how is this still happening?
But hey, listen, we got drawers in this week. She made a few drawers, so it's a slow going process. I'm fine with it.
Ty,
when
it's
my
getting
wife
there.
watches this, she's gonna absolutely die when she hears
Getting
this. You just killed my wife, Russ. But no, like it's so hard to envision these things. And I look, I look to each of your rooms, on a weekly basis, and I sit there, I like the style, I like the color, I like the shades and stuff like that. But it's like, what did you really like? What did you really kind of regret that you did? And you're like, well, I'm stuck with this now.
We are stuck. What's funny is it's definitely stuck. And I was like, I wish we had done this had we known. Because we had purchased this house in January of 2 years ago. And now we've been here a year and a half. And we didn't move in. Backtrack. We purchased it in July, didn't move in until January. So it was like 6 months process getting everything ready. And because we were kind of anxious and getting everything done, some stuff was rushed. Even you look at back in my videos, I wanted to do internet to all the rooms, and her dad was doing her sheetrock, and he actually sheetrocked the closet where I had the internet, and I had to take off the sheetrock so I could finish running the cords. But what I'm getting at is the flooring in here, we put down some plywood and then I have like the interlocking floor or whatever. It still kind of moves a little bit, and we wished we put a thicker base layer to really solidify the room. And now we put this floor. There's no way we're going to rip up this whole flooring and put that down. So getting that base structure would have been ideal, because if I'm moving around, you feel, because I'm above the garage, right? So you get a little bit play on that. So certainly not rushing if you're building something from scratch. I mean, like Ty's in a room there with no walls, so you certainly can plan out. Maybe write down a piece of paper. I want a office area. I want maybe a closet area for storage of some stuff. So you have those sections already in mind. And even picking a color really helps tie the room together with the themes. Do I go dark color? Do I do a graphic on the wall? Is there going to be bookcases and you won't even see? Because we talk technically, this is the ceiling where you see here. The angled in this is considered the ceiling, and then this is the wall. But we painted the wall and part of the ceiling because I feel like there would just be too much white in here. You would see, and I was like, and you would not really see the wall because I have bookcases and artwork on there. So I was like, okay. So what was the first question, though? I answered the regret. I forgot the first question.
What is something you would suggest to someone who is building a game room from scratch?
I definitely would say hop on YouTube and watch game room tours and get some ideas from, I like this, I like the lighting of this, maybe these cases, and jot down the best parts of that. And you can kind of envision, some people maybe can't envision, but do your best to envision that into the space that you have. And like I said, I'm sure there's software that you can use on the computer to put in your dimensions, or even use graph paper, go old school and go, okay, this is what my room looks like. Cut out paper of like a couch. I like this couch here. Steph wanted a bigger couch. I said, I never have that many people on the couch. This is from IKEA. It could fit 3 people real snug. But it's nice for the size. If I had anything bigger, it's taking up more real estate to where I'm filming or walking around. I rarely have people over. And I said, even when my daughters get older, I feel like we're not going to be in here watching a movie. We have a living room downstairs and a playroom down there with a TV, and we can all sit on those couches. So certainly each getting pieces. And I'm using a coffee table as my desk. It's one of the coffee tables you can pull up, and it has storage under here. And I just retrofitted it to put like arms on here to hold cameras and lights and stuff. So again, I got all these ideas from watching YouTube videos. Person who had the stand-up desk, I ordered that. I got casters for it. Oh, you got these cool arms? Yeah, I'll order those that hold lights. Like, great ideas. So I always look into YouTube videos. So there's plenty of room tours you can watch. I think doesn't Retro Rick do a full series? He's done Dave's room a few times, so
Yeah,
you could probably
he's been
go
here a couple of times doing for tours. Yeah.
Retro Rick's channel and just watch a bunch of game room tours, or find something like on my Russ Lyman channel where it's a DIY from start to finish, building a game room.
Yeah, I mean, for my room particularly, this was an open. Oh, he's got his Alexa going. We got Alexa going.
I'm like, why is I thought that was the baby.
So my room was this was an all open basement, right? And so I had to kind of figure out how logistically things were going to measure out. And the reason it's shaped the way it is because behind this wall that's next to me is my hot water heater and my furnace. So I have a staircase that comes down in front of me, and that's the wall that the TV's on. And then you walk into the room, and then I just have this square area. But then I had a more section that would go out to like the Bilco doors. And so I decided, hey, let's make this kind of like an L shape, just so I have some more room for the collection, right? And that's kind of how like the whole building process went. Now, I also had to figure out where the baseboard heat was going to go. And then also we had to build this little ledge because we had to figure out a way how we were going to close this this water shutoff system. And so on the ledge, there's a little door that we could just remove, get in there, switch the knob, and then be done with it. As far as the layout goes, I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as the layout goes of the room itself, I'm happy with it because I knew what our perimeters were and I knew what we had. Like we have a low ceiling. We have, I'm a short guy, so like it doesn't bother me. But sometimes some of my friends come over and they're a little taller than me, and it's not low, but it's not like your average like living room height, right?
Right.
But what I will say is, I ended up, I am happy with the layout itself because that's what the max space that we could have had. This is about, I want to say it's only like 220 square feet. It's not huge. But as far as like the shelving goes and things like that, what I have back here, it was just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at Tetrising things together. And so like laying stuff out with measuring and figuring out what kind of shelves I can get. I went to IKEA looking for certain types of shelves where I can have.
Do you guys have IKEA in Canada?
Yeah, we have IKEA.
Okay.
We don't have Yoo-hoo, but we have IKEA.
Oh, how about that?
You always got to play with them, Ty. You can't just give it to them right away. You got to be like, IKEA, what is that, like a sandwich? I don't. Is that bacon, lettuce, and pickles? I don't know what IKEA is.
It's a meatball sandwich.
And then you
I
have
think.
to follow up with again, like your Russ has never seen that size of dog food. That's because he doesn't have a sled team, right? Like we have to go place to place using our sled dogs, so we need that size of food.
That's right.
Standard.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
The irony is the dog that we had was a husky that we fed. So I mean, you're not wrong. You're 100% right. It was a husky stuff. That's right.
Yeah. So
yes,
anyway,
we have IKEA. What is this?
Yes.
What,
Okay.
What is this shelf? Is that the same shelf
everything's
behind Dave?
IKEA.
Yeah, everything's
If you
IKEA.
can't build it by scratch, IKEA. It's the way to go.
Yeah. So the one thing that I am happy about is like some things kind of fell into place. Like these are literally the only places in this room that these cabinets can sit because I tried. If I put it up against a wall over there, it's too close to the entrance where you're going to bump into it coming in. If you put it back there, then this shelf has to get moved over here, and then it's going to all block the heating, right? So and then over here, like I can't put it over there because I have my whole. This is where things kind of worked out for the best. My dad and my mom had this really cool wooden bench at her house, and it's got very thin legs, but I was like, this is actually pretty sturdy. it worked out so well where it fit perfectly from the wall to coming out where I could fit one of those glass case. I could probably show you guys. Sorry for the trash and everything, but you got the VHS wall here, and then you got this shelf here, right there. What do I have over there? What is going on? That's
I see Chicago Bulls and a Christmas
I got lots of
treats.
stuff. But anyway, but it fits perfectly with this in between, and then this is that wall that I was telling you
Right,
about.
with the shutoff heater. Yeah.
Right. So this little shelf down here fits perfectly. You can see the baseboard heat.
Yeah, underneath.
Right there.
Yeah, so you have the flow.
And so the shelf is over that, and I got the CRT with the VHS cabinets with the Nintendo, and then just the VHS wall, and then this back here where my logo is, that's the like the fuse box.
Right.
So that's a door that we had to build, so we have access to that.
And again, this is all game rooms that are in a basement. Maybe you're gonna run into some of these issues designing that. And I didn't have a basement in this house. It's literally just contains our water heater and oil tank. That's it for the basement. So it had to be here for the game room, which the benefit is I don't have to worry about any flooding issues or mold or this and that because we're above the garage. So that was a benefit of that. I know Ty's in the basement again. You got to deal with maybe lower ceilings, so you can't have as tall
Actually, I have very high
bookcases.
ceilings in here, surprisingly.
So that works out well for you.
I'm a tall guy, so.
And where are you, Keith? Are you on like just the level ground?
I have one floor. There's a foundation underneath me. It's a crawl space underneath. It's maybe 3-4 feet. So I'm off the ground. But
so you don't have a basement?
No basement whatsoever.
No
so
basement.
I would say pick your space properly. If you're building, if you have the luxury of moving into a place with the space to build or has a basement that you can design how you want it, definitely think about your space and try to plan it out the best you can in advance, like Russ is talking about, because you don't want to end up with a cluster of stuff. Let's see if I can use my busted wing here and take you for a quick tour of this one. So again, it's, this is a big IKEA cabinet with all my board games on it. And then that back there was a closet that I took the doors off. And then we're over to the door into the other room. And then this is where all my NESs. This is why I don't have a tour, is because it's all stacked in an IKEA shelf. So that's the whole thing. I've got toys on some of these other walls and then the computer.
Yeah.
I wish I had more space. If I build, I plan on building something to suit my needs, right? Instead of like in advance planning that out, because I don't want to be stuck with limited space again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so space for growth as well, right? So you're
exactly
not like,
right, because we're always
it's already full, moved in.
Exactly, like I'm up the walls here because I don't have the added space for that, and it's a 1-floor house. So luckily I have the vaulted ceilings, so I can do that, right? I can move up the walls a little bit, but
oh wow, okay.
And if I had something that I would regret or change, I have limited space here. So again, that's if I could find a way to make it fit better, I would. But right now, I'm kind of bound up. So that's why stuff ends up flowing over into the other rooms. So luckily, I'm alone out here. And the whole house can be a game room, kind of, in the end.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest regret of everybody, right? Is like, we just need more space.
Yeah.
Well, and it also comes down to the fact how much, if you have a significant other, right, you can't take over the entire house. So usually that's why we do end up in the garage, in the basement. So it's like you're not seeing it everywhere. Yeah. And then can I take all of the basement, or you're going to have to leave some? Oh, well, we need a playroom down there, or we need, laundry or whatever. So essentially sometimes it gets dialed back to that. So you have to meet your partner's needs as well. But hey, if you're bachelor, and that's just go all out.
Russ doesn't have a basement.
Right. That's what I said. Yeah. Fortunately, we couldn't we did look at a house prior to this that had a basement that it would have been smaller than what this room was because it was sectioned off, right? So like different
Yeah.
rooms, so it wouldn't be as big. When I first got here, I was like, "Oh, this is fantastic," but I did lose some real estate with
Right.
us building the closets because we don't have a basement. We need
But
some
you know
storage.
what? I think those closets are like the best thing that you could have done.
I was so against it. Obviously, in the beginning, I'm like, I'm losing like this, blah, 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 blah. But then it's like, well, one, where are you going to put the arcade machines? This gives me a flat wall, and I
Right,
can hang
right,
some
right.
art there, so that works out. And then I could put my clothes in there because where else was I?
And you have
put
that
my
nice
clothes.
you have that nice kind of like entrance to the room now too.
Oh, let me show you guys because I did bring up. I had a quick walkthrough.
Yeah,
Of,
while you're talking about that real quick, so one thing, Ty, about my room, we talk about Russ is mentioning like who, we have very, supportive significant others. Well, mine is so nice that she gave me a deal, and this is how this room actually happened, and just said, "Hey, if I pay for the basement and get it done, I could do whatever I want with it." So I said, no problem. And that's what I did. And now it has just become its own character. Uh, and I love it. I need more room.
Yeah,
Give me
and
more
that's
room.
that's
Always.
honestly the issue. Even moving in, like I have a blank canvas in front of me, and like I have a significant other, I have a daughter. I have other people in this house, so I can't just take over everything.
Right.
And that's even more of a challenge right now. And this, going back to what we're talking about from the moving, like we've moved in August. I think it was the second week of August, and on the other side, so I'm facing where the stairs would be. And on the other side, there's more room, which we'd like to turn eventually into a rec room. It's filled with boxes, just boxes, because we're trying to do construction. We're trying to move things around. This room hasn't started yet. We've been building a bathroom. Like, it's so hard to figure out exactly what I even have to work with when we had to say, okay, we need this to, we need area for all the decorations, that we need a spot to put all whatever it is, these seasonal things. And that's such a challenge. And you're trying to say, okay, now I need to build this. And it's like, I've often gone through this. I thought, do I have enough room? Like, do I really think, because like what you don't see is like I have 2 arcade 1-ups and I have a third arcade, which is like EB Games style GameStop game thing, which was built off a Raspberry Pi. And it's a huge thing, and it's a really cool thing. But I mean, I can't see those fitting in here, and I'm just like, they're going to stay over there. So like, how do you figure this all out? And like, I sit there go like, what walls do I knock down? Do I put walls up? Do I leave it open a bit so I have a sense that it's more rooms? It's definitely a challenge in that sense.
Yeah, I got lucky with these cabinets because like the way these are laid out, I got my nice little refrigerator right
in between it. Yeah.
And it's a perfect height, and it works as a little shelf for extra stuff. So that worked out.
The fridge and freezer around the corner for me, and same with the fruit cellar. So I have all the food and stuff, but outside the room, so it doesn't take up the room.
Yeah. So Russ has this kind of nice entryway.
Yeah, so you walk through the hallway essentially, which then opens up into the full room. But you can see it's almost like an airport hangar with those angled walls right here.
Yeah.
This is a year ago. I had posted this video on my Russ Lyman channel. But right there you can see my, gaming setup. That's where I'm at, right now. Just there's more art on the wall. And I had to find places for these the glass cases, essentially, where they ended up moving to the further part of the room. But I was just kind of putting stuff everywhere. But you can see with the play choice, I got nice tall ceilings, but the little closet area that gave me kind of like a flat space to then put the arcade up against here.
Well, other than that, if you didn't have that, it would be against that other wall next to the door too, right?
Right. And, you move stuff around, see how it looks, and you're like, is this going to work here? You're like, I don't know.
No, I like it. One piece of advice that I would give Ty is actually, you said that you had another side of the basement there.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's unfinished.
Correct. Everything's unfinished in this basement.
Okay. So my dad used to own a grocery store, and for years he would collect, and I have a ton of them now. He would I'm sure there's other things you can use, but this is just something that he taught me. Is I have a bunch of Coca-Cola. They're
milk crates?
basically not milk crates, but they're the same.
It's like a
idea.
caddy, a soda
Yeah,
caddy, I guess you
yeah,
would call it.
Yeah.
So they fit like cans or bottles, like that's how they used to bring them. They didn't used to bring them in boxes. They brought them in these plastic things that the Coke man would bring in, and then you would load the shelves and the Coke man would take back out or whatever. And my dad just owned the grocery store and he had a ton of them. And I use those things religiously, turning them upside down and putting all my boxes on top of them.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
have
raised up a little bit.
Nothing is sitting on the floor, and it saves me every now and then where you get a little bit of water in the basement, whatever. Something happens, God forbid, but that's the one thing that I learned, especially from my dad with those, because he did that at his house as well. And it's the best thing. I won't put any kind of like wood, like even like an IKEA shelf that's sitting over there is sitting on top of those because they're made of wood. And if those things get wet, they're going to get rotten.
Almost not even wood. It's like almost like a particle board.
Right.
Fall apart.
Right. So everything sits on top of something. So, I just started buying. Now this is, back then they didn't have these so much, but like now you can go and just get those wire shelvings, right? And even if you get that bottom shelf a little raised up, that works too. So always don't put these boxes or any of that stuff that's important of value on the ground. Try to figure out a way to raise it up where it's going to be protected, God forbid. And like, we don't really, knock on wood, like we don't get a lot of water, if ever. But when we first moved in, we got quite a bit. And I got some boxes that, when we first moved in, ruined pretty good because there was a leak in our Bilco doors and it rained pretty hard. And that has been fixed, obviously, but that was a good lesson of just making sure that everything is off the ground. So that's my biggest piece of advice.
When we moved, it was quite an interesting move. So we didn't have a lot of time to move. We had 1 month to move. So we had sold our house in June. We had to take possession of this house by mid-August. They wanted a quick turnaround, so it had to be quick. My gaming stuff ended up being in 3 different spots at one point in time. We had stuff on the truck. We had so I had my arcades in the trucks. Some of them were 2 of them weren't built at the time, so they weren't built. They were on the truck. So it's on this truck, and in between all that, I should add, we actually had a week in between our houses. So we sold our house and we weren't buying the next house until
So you get that weird gap. Yeah.
Wow. So it was challenging. So I had stuff there. I had brought a good portion. Like I had like 1,500 pieces of physical gaming stuff, right? So I had stuff on the truck. I had stuff with me. I have like other nostalgic items. Like I have a whole like -1 book of Goosebumps collections. There was other items I had. Some that's on the truck. Some of it was with me. I went and lived with my mom for a little bit. And then the other part was in my in-laws, and it was in their basement. Now, thankfully, I ended up taking almost everything they had. And I think it was 2 months ago, they had a flood in their basement.
Wow.
But,
I see that.
But they didn't do the Coke things that you were describing there, David, but they actually had 2x4s. So everything was off on 2x4s in boxes. And if anything had to be on the ground, it was Rubbermaid totes. So this way there was no damage. But thankfully, I got everything out. There was no damage, knock on wood. Even the stuff that's here behind me, anything that's down low is usually, I don't want to say lower quality stuff that I'm not too worried if it did get damaged. I put old school books and stuff like that. It's down below. The consoles, the games, all that's moved there, and a lot of it's upstairs in my other room, which I'm using as an office / game room kind of mix thing where I tend to do a lot of the videos that I'm doing as well. So yeah, it's honestly, it's a great lesson for anyone. Just make sure your stuff is not on the ground in any which way. And even as we're building this, I'm sitting there thinking, man, how am I going to do this? Because I'm in a basement. How do I handle if there ever is a flood? Because I need to plan this accordingly.
Well, speaking of floods, and this is one other thing that I'll leave you guys at, as far as your flooring goes, I had the option of doing a carpet or the wood floors. And what we ended up deciding, I went back and forth with the contractor thinking of positives and negatives and things like that. Carpet would be good, but I had previous water in the basement before. So I decided get the wood floors, but the wood floors that we ended up getting have a thick cork cushioning. So that way, if any water gets in and gets underneath, it's okay. It's not gonna, it doesn't really seep through, but it also absorbs with the cork.
Right.
So it actually helps it.
Where if it's carpet, you would get like mold if it's sitting there and you didn't.
You'd have to rip up
maybe
the
just
carpet.
do area carpets, right? To
have
something cushiony to step on.
So if you want to do like wood floors, we have the and then we have concrete, and then we have the raised kind of like the paneling floors, and then we made sure that we got the thickest amount of cork that we could do for like giving it a little cushioning.
Right.
So that helps a little bit if we ever get a little bit of water, which has happened. And then it just kind of seeps into that, and then just it's good. We're good to go. So that would be my piece of advice, for flooring, if that was the case for a basement.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, and that's one of the things we're looking at. We went to there's a discount flooring place that's not too far from us, because we're building a bathroom down here right now. And I asked the guy, I said, what's better to go with? Do you go with a carpet, or do you go? I said, but I'm in a basement. I said, do I do anything like that? He says, I'll tell you right now, if you have a flood, he says, you're probably ripping it all up anyways. He says, I guarantee you're not going to know where it's coming from. You're not going to feel good about it. Rip it all up anyway. So pick whatever you like. So
yeah,
I see both arguments. If you're able to isolate and understand it, I get that then. And you can be able to click it out, put it back in, no problem. If you go carpet, and you can't figure out where it's coming from, I mean, it's going to be the same problem as if you got to pull it all up anyway. So at this point in time, I think I'll just save the money and just put it towards shelving, and something I can actually use. Who needs a floor? I mean, this is good enough. It's concrete.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is I think our friend Rax has his game room in a basement, and he just uses the concrete floor and puts area rugs around.
Think about it. Trust me.
Yeah. So lots of good information.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We can go on for days.
That's what I say. We could talk forever on this, but I think it'd be a good topic since Ty was moving.
Wrap it up.
All right. We do have, I believe we have a voicemail if you guys want to call into the show. 949-682-9277. I believe Rob can give you a quick reminder on that there.
Oh, it looks like we have a voicemail. Let's see who called into the show this week.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone.
It's for you.
Hey, this is Paul, fellow nutmegger. I've been meaning to call, and I just never got off my ass, so now I have.
There you go.
Speaking of not getting off my ass, I have quite a backlog of podcasts. So this is in relation to an old episode, if that's okay, episode 186 about toys getting games. First off, I believe the mention was between Doritos and Pringles. Doritos are better. However, I do remember eating entire sleeves of sour cream and onion Pringles at one sitting, so that happened. I was a fat little boy. I was really happy that Humanoids was brought up. And I was thinking that Twisted Metal would be a good game for that. But then I was thinking, actually, if you remember Loaded from 1995, I think especially with the atmospherics and all that,
yeah,
I think that might have been a pretty good call. And I think, and then the other thing was Centurions. Never had any of the
Oh.
toys. I thought it was a decent cartoon, but that could
Yeah.
easily be like a Blaster Master or a Bionic Commando, you
Mhm.
know, with all the modular things, you have the different environments. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I appreciate you. I enjoy your show. Thanks very much.
Heck yeah. Appreciate that, Paul.
Wow.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, definitely listen to a bunch of podcasts, and then you're like, hey, if you're backed up, that's fine. Call in about past episodes or questions that we raised up. We'd love to hear from you guys for sure.
Trust us, we remember all of them.
We would jump to our playlist with Jay. Do yourself a favor.
Did he send one in?
He did send one in. Let's see.
Okay.
We'll jump up over here.
What's up, guys? It's your buddy NES Addict here with another Do Yourself a Favor, and today I'm coming at you with a band called Bayside, who I'm actually seeing June 14th. It's going to be freaking awesome with Taking Back Sunday. But anyway, the song I'm referring to is off an album called Sirens and Condolences, and the song is called Talking of Michelangelo. I think the artist, not the Ninja Turtle. Anyway, here are some of the lyrics that I really think are cool. It says, I wonder when I'll finally understand why time can wash away love like it was made of sand. And it's wonderful the pain that comes with regret. Sometimes you have to see the beauty in all of this loneliness. And yeah, Bayside is a freaking rad band. And that particular album, Sirens and Condolences, is a no-skip album for me. You play it front to back. Also, for those of you that know, Bayside is a cult. Anyway, Talking of Michelangelo. Go listen to it. All right, guys. Peace.
All right, with that, we're going to jump over to red pipe, green pipe. We're going to jump down one of these pipes. We're going to pick from two. We're going to go back to a day back in our past so we can enjoy the things that are there, but we can only pick one. So let's figure out which one we're going to pick, guys. Go ahead, Russ.
So what's it gonna be?
All right, so looking at red pipe today, looks like we're on a little Disney adventure with our movies. So we're going to be sitting down with a nice, fresh Coca-Cola classic. The Lion King is our movie of choice. We're going to have us some animal crackers. We're going to play Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Jack in the Box is going to be our lunch. So me and Ty might not have as much of a connection to this one here. And then Disney's Recess is our cartoon we're going to be watching that day. If we jump down a red pipe, we're going to be having a 7-Up. We're going to be watching Toy Story, the first one. Teddy Grahams are our snack of choice that day, so we can bite off their heads. I guess we can bite off the heads of the animals in animal crackers as well.
That's true.
Sonic and Knuckles on the Genesis for you there, Dave. And we're going to have some Sonics. Again,
Nice. I see what
we
you
might
did.
not have as much connection here. And then Dexter's Lab is going to be the cartoon we're going to watch for the day. So what are we thinking, guys? Ty, do you have any connection with the restaurants we're looking at today? Because I know we don't have any of those around here.
No, and it's funny because like I live really close to the border, and anytime we go across the border, because it's literally like from where I currently am, it's like a 20-minute drive to hop across the border. And
Nice.
Anytime I go with my wife, we go to McDonald's because reasons I don't understand. So before I make my choice, I want to ask, and maybe anyone else who's listening who's not from the US, what is the difference between a Jack in the Box versus Sonic if I was to pick one?
Okay. I actually have an answer for this because I just went to my first Jack in the Box
Oh, okay.
in, I want to say it was in Tucson when I was at the Tucson Toy Show.
Yes.
God, I wish they had those up here. Man, they have, dude, I got this box. So I got really lucky. I don't have it around here. No, listen, hear me out.
Where's my snack time button?
Here's the
Right?
reason why. So we got In and Out for lunch.
Yes.
And then we were like, oh, well, we're not going to do another burger for dinner or whatever. So on the way home, we went to this Jack in the Box. And I'd never been to Jack in the Box. And I'm sitting at the Tucson Toy Show and I was looking at the Jack in the Box menu. Wouldn't you know it? They had a after midnight
box, like
meal
snack pack
box.
or something. Yeah.
Now, when I say after midnight, what does that entail? Gremlins.
Ooh.
So it was a Gremlins after midnight box, and I was like, we're going there. Like, I don't even care what's in it. That's where we're going. But in that box, they had these tacos. Oh man, they were like they were great tacos.
Okay.
Like they were really, really good. They had tacos in there. They sell burgers. There's the menu is it's better than Sonic. Sonic is,
I would say it's more variety. Yeah, with that.
The thing about Sonic that puts Sonic on the map besides the burgers is they have every flavored limeade that you
like
can,
drinks, milkshakes or slushies or
Right.
and they do
But
half
they're-
price
but they're
drinks and all
known-
that.
Yeah, but they're known for their limeade. So like you can get like a strawberry limeade, you can
Like
get a
a-
watermelon
Like
limeade.
a
They
cherry
put out-
lemon.
They do
Alright.
cherry lime. They do all these like different flavors. Like it's an endless amount of like they could mix all these flavors together for you. So I would say that Jack in the Box has a lot more variety.
Yeah.
Just for those tacos alone. And and the Sonic is if you're going for burgers. They're also known for their tots. Or you can get like curly fries.
And I will say also,
Jalapeno poppers, stuff like that.
if you're comparing the two, also Sonic, you drive up to and they come out. They're supposed to be on roller skates, so they come out, and so you kind of get that experience. Whereas Jack in the Box, you wouldn't have that. So if you're comparing food and then environment or like atmosphere, so to say, Sonic is you either pull up to the what would you call
Kiosk.
it? The kiosk, essentially.
Yeah.
Or some of them, like they do have a little sit down, small area where you can walk up to a kiosk and then sit down out there.
That's
But
outside.
It's outside. There's no inside seating with that.
So with Sonic, you have to just drive up with your car, and you're basically eating in your car unless you're taking it on the go.
So
But
let me ask a question.
Sonic-
then.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, it's just a quick question because we're going back in time. Does either of these have a kid's meal or toy that would associate? Because that might influence my choice back. in the day.
Oh, very.
Both of them. Both of
That's a
them.
good question.
As a matter of fact, I have some Sonic stuff.
Oh, okay.
So every time
I
I-
Jack in the Box.
Go to the States, every time I take someone new with me, me and a coworker went down to Midland, Texas, and we had to do some work there. And I was like, have you ever been to a Sonic's? He's like, nope, never been to a Sonic's. I'm like, I am going to ruin Dairy Queen for you today. Like, this is never going to be the same for you. And I took him, we got Sonic's Blasts. And the consistency of the ice cream in one of those with the whipped cream on top and whatever flavor you want to get in it. It's like, it'd be like a Blizzard. Same thing.
Yeah.
But it is so incredibly good. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So Sonic had Mad Balls.
Nice.
So they had different color Mad Balls. These are like plastic.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be squirters, but they're not very squeezable. And then they had like the Chase version, which is their Sonic Limeade.
Oh yeah, he's got a little cherry nose.
Yeah, and the limes as
Lime
the
buds on there.
eyebrows.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so Sonic, so these are from, I don't know when these are from, early to mid 2000s or something like that. But yeah, they do have, and like I said, like with the boxes, I got a it was a Gizmo and Stripe air freshener that came with it.
Fair enough. Easy enough to.
Yeah, some stickers, stuff like that. But they all have some kind of kids meal. Yes.
So
All right,
one thing
so
I
what are
will
we
say
thinking here?
and Keith, I want you to back me up on this one. I know, at least from my experience, anything that I have in Canada versus going to the United States, the taste is much different. It's way different. So if I'm looking at it from a Canadian standpoint, these things are not going to live up to the standard that you guys have in America. And it's just the way it is. So it's kind of puts us, at least for me, at a disadvantage to be able to try and guess because it's not going to be as good. Am I right, Keith? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's just a different, it's not quite as similar now, but the beef used to be a little bit different. Grain fed versus corn fed for a lot of stuff. A lot of that stuff has changed nowadays, but yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of differences for sure between the way our fast food is and your fast food is. But these are two interesting ones, I think. Again, like Dave talking about their.
I'm at a complete split, to be honest with you.
Really?
So I'll go here. So I take Teddy Grahams over Animal Crackers. I take Toy Story. I mean, Lion King and Toy Story are kind of like, they're on the same page, but I think like I would take Toy Story if I was going back for one day. So Teddy Grahams, Toy Story. I would take Sonic and Knuckles over Yoshi's Island. No offense to Super Nintendo or the fact that I was a Genesis kid, but like I was never really into the Yoshi's Island game in general. So Sonic and Knuckles, you got that, like you could put the Sonic games on top and you can play, so there's a lot of variety there. Jack in the Box and Sonic are kind of a toss up. I would prefer Jack in the Box. Maybe because it's not as accessible as Sonic is right now for me because we don't have Jack in the Box in Connecticut. I've never watched Disney Recess or Dexter's Lab, so those are a little bit past my cartoon watching days. So those are kind of like wash as it is, and I obviously would take Coke over 7-Up, but it's not really a deal breaker. So I'm kind of like at I don't know, it's crazy. But if I'm going for Teddy Grahams, Sonic and Knuckles, because I'm at Teddy Graham, Sonic and Knuckles, Toy Story, and Sonic, 7-Up, Dex Lab. So I'm like really split. So if I had one that was like teetering that scale a little bit, would be Sonic. So I'm going Green Pipe.
Perfect.
Okay. Ty, what do you? So X-naying our meal choices. What are you thinking here? For
it's looking back at the choices, it's really come split. I have seen Dexter's Lab, I have seen Recess, and there's a couple things. I'll say things here that might be controversial, so be prepared here. Dexter's Lab wasn't that good. I didn't care for it. I'm sorry if people liked it. I found it so frustrating. I never cared for it. I just didn't like it. And my second controversial thing, I've tried and tried. I can't get into Sonic games. I can't do it. And I think the reason is I enjoy appreciating a game and all its art. The fact I had to run through a game goes against what I like to do. So
that's fair.
We have
not to say
before, right? So
and not to say Yoshi's Island's like the favorite game because the Mario, the baby scream is really off-putting. But I love The Lion King. I watched The Lion King. I think I like worn down the VHS tape back when I had it. And honestly, like Coke, 7-Up, it's a split for me. But I think 100% I'm going Red Pipe. Animal Crackers, Teddy Grahams, doesn't matter. They're just as good, both to me.
Yeah.
Red Pipe.
Okay. Russ,
what you thinking here?
I'm definitely leaning Green Pipe. Teddy Grahams are great. The movies, so. I did enjoy Dexter's Laboratory. I don't think I ever seen Disney Recess.
Right. I remember it, but
I don't remember it. So that's why I'm like, never seen that. And I was super stoked when, we were getting a Sonic here. And I like that atmosphere and the variety of drinks that they offer. And I'm with Ty with Sonic. Like, I always said this where Sonic's meant to be fast, right? And you're supposed to be running through the level. And I feel like there's so many things that like you run into and it stops that momentum, but they also want you to explore. So it's almost like a catch-22 of like, well, explore the level so you can find like the hidden stuff, but you want me to go fast as well. But I feel like I would have a better time with Sonic 3 than if it was Super Mario World. obviously yes, but this being the sequel, I played this game a few times. I never beat it, and I'm like, I'd probably just go with the Sonic instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, green pipe for me.
How about you, Keith?
I'm probably. I love a good Sonic's ice cream, but Disney's Recess is really good. I would pick it over Dexter's Lab. I would probably pick Coke over 7 Up. Animal Crackers, Teddy Grahams, kind of a wash for me. Either one is good. Lion King, I have great memories
Teddy
of.
Grahams were flavored.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, the honey flavor. Yeah, the original.
The honey flavored.
Yeah, or chocolate.
But they're both either one. I'm fine with either choice, right?
Okay,
Like
fair.
I wouldn't grab one over the other. Toy Story, I have great memories of as well. So kind of a toss up there. But I'm probably going to go Red Pipe. Same reason, Sonic games, a struggle for me because I'm crashing into everything and having a problem trying to find. I want to go through this level and check it out.
So what you guys are saying
would be the tilt.
So what you're saying is Canada and the U.S. are divided.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We went red because, obviously.
Canada.
Because Canada.
The maple leaf.
So it looks like it's a split then.
Split. That's fine. I'm curious on the listeners and which way they'll go with this here for sure.
It's a toughie. It's definitely down the
vote
middle.
Team Canada or Team USA in the comments.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. Red pipe,
Perfect.
green pipe. All right. That was a good one for sure. Wrapping up this episode here, the weekly Warp Pipe. We want to thank Ty for jumping on the Warp Pipe with us. Again, if people want to check out your stuff, man, where do you post? What do you do? Give them a little bit of information on you.
Yeah, thanks again. I just want to say thank you so much for letting me join you guys tonight. It's truly an honor. I love your podcast. It's one of the podcasts I always listen to, and I'm sure anyone who's listened to this knows you guys run a great show, and it just keeps getting better and better. So I truly, truly appreciate you having me here today. As for me, my name is Ty. You can catch me on a few different platforms. You're mainly going to catch the stuff on TikTok as of right now. Instagram, I try to post as much as I can, but they have a lot of restrictions. I am trying to get to a YouTube. The issue with that is just I want to do a long form content, but it's hard to do long form content when you don't have a proper place to build an edit. So that's going to be something that's going to come down in the future. And of course, I do have a Twitch and everything else. So you can catch me out on there. So look for TYs Gaming and Collections. I think it's like the TYs Gaming or TYs Collections on TikTok. I'm sure you can find me somewhere along the line. And I like I said, once again, just appreciate being here with you guys today and just talking about moving and game rooms in general. It's absolutely one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll leave links in the description. This way you can hook up with his social media there and keep the conversation going. If you guys want to check out, let's see, we got the weekly warpipe.com. If I could bring those up. Where's all my stuff? Here it is. Check out the weeklywarpipe.com. Call into the show as well. 949-682-9277. It's 949-682-WARP. Or you could text too. We've seen a few people text, and then I could just read the text over the phone there. So that works. Quick shout out to our channel members. Austin Mills, Fox Driven Retro, Jody55, Jarrett Connor. We got Manny's Arcade, Mike7399, and Vamp6463. Much appreciate you guys. And of course, we got Tom Ryan for this week's sponsor. Check out Tom Ryan's studio. He's on Etsy. He's got Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. So appreciate Tom Ryan supporting the show as always. And if you guys want to follow our individual stuff going on, we'll shoot over to Keith. What do we got going in the background, Keith?
Retro Card Collector on YouTube, Retro Card Collector on Instagram, and trying. As soon as I'm healed up, guys, I promise we're going to have some videos coming out. But check me out there, Dave. Where do they find you?
You can find me over at YouTube, Dave, it's me. Weekly videos of toy hunting. I just got back from Chicago, so the whole Chicago road trip is going up as we speak. So check out that. More videos are coming, and there's also a lot of channel member videos that are starting to come out too. So if you guys are interested and you want to support the channel in other ways, the channel memberships will have exclusive videos and exclusive content, and also a Discord chat. We have a Discord chat now where a lot of us toy guys and toy gals are talking about toys all day. So you can join us on there. Just a bunch of nerdy stuff. And how about you, Russ? Where are we going to find you?
Find me all over the interwebs. Of course, you can find me on my DIY channel, Russ Lyman. We got a bunch of videos planned for the future of doing some DIY stuff. I got a collaboration I'm working on with someone that reached out to me on Instagram. So we got a video coming for that eventually. And we got Russ Lee coming up on 1 year on YouTube. We got weekly videos I've been putting out on there and multiple live streams during the week. And I have been live streaming on Twitch. It's Russ Lee Live is my Twitch handle. Usually I go on there late at night, and sometimes I'll take some of those and upload those onto Russ Lee or sections of that. So you can certainly find me all over the interwebs, and plus my 10 other channels of goodness, snacky snack time and all that fun stuff. But you can find me here with the other guys every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new episodes of the Weekly Warp Pipe. And don't forget, we will be at SoCal Retro Gaming coming up in a few weeks. So if you guys want to come say hi to us there, maybe we'll have some swag. I got some Weekly Warp Pipe pins I can bring with me. So if
I
you
got
guys
a
see us
full
there,
stack of stickers ready to go.
So Dave's got some stickers. So get you swag there.
Yeah. And before we go, we also have to announce, I know that things are running late today. Our topic for next week.
That's right.
Yeah. Next week, we are going to be talking about the appeal of the big toy play sets. So I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there are some great ones to talk about. So we'll dive into that for next week's topic. And Keith, what are we getting into for the Warp Pipe rental?
We're going to be renting Ghostbusters on the Sega Master System. So check that one out. I'm interested in seeing what this one looks like. This is one that I have a little bit of knowledge of, but not a lot. So rent it along with us and let us know what you think of Ghostbusters on the Sega Master System.
That'd be a good one to maybe I'll live stream that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
There you go.
It's a good one. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, Ty, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully we could get you back on the podcast at some point as well. Great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be able to come back. And I think between Keith and I, we definitely could impart some Canadian knowledge. And
That's it. I love it.
Trade off with some of the things that we know here,
now that I'm thinking about it, you guys, you should have put into the red pipe, green pipe.
Maple syrup?
Ham or Canadian bacon?
Oh, I thought you say
because it's
pop
the same
or
thing.
soda,
right? Ceiling or roof?
Ceiling or roof?
Couch or Chesterfield?
Chesterfield, yes.
Jeez Louise.
All right, I think that was a good closer.
We're wrapping that up. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us in the Warp Pipe, and we will see you on the next episode. Later.